Hey MVPs, non-MVPs, YouTube, Patreon, whoever's watching this video. This is my free fight pick. I always give out one free pick for every single UFC card. We have UFC 302 this weekend on Saturday. I'm going to give you guys my picks. So the first early prelim fight is this guy, Mitch Raposo, and he's fighting Andre Lima. Now, if you don't know Mitch, it's okay. It's understandable. He's never fought in the UFC. He tried to, and it didn't work out. He got tapped out by Jake Hadley. If you don't know Jake Hadley, he's this little submission artist. He's crafty. So to see Jake Hadley get a rear naked choke on the Contender Series in round 2 doesn't surprise me. But Mitch goes out and beats a lot of guys on the regional scene. Now, if you go watch these fights, you're going to see a young man who just beat Justin Valentin, 4th round TKO. It was really a body shot. I don't remember if it was a punch or a kick. I think it was a kick. And then he kind of just finished him off. Ref called it pretty quick. I don't necessarily know if it should have been stopped. But Justin Valentin looked a lot like a less skilled Andre Lima, if you will. This is a short notice fight. But Mitch Raposo has been training and getting ready for fights. He knew one was coming, so I think he's ready for this one. If you don't remember Andre Lima, let me remind you, this is the victim of the guy who got bit, right? He's the man who got bit. Remember when we had those two fighters? They got bit not too long ago. It was Cervinho who bit him, and then he got cut from the UFC. If you were there that night, it was Rose Namajunas versus Amanda Ribas, but Cervinho gets bit, or he does the biting. He goes out and chews on this man, and he's got that tooth mark. But before the bite, it was a pretty square, even fight. We were on Cervinho that night. We lost. So tonight, for the fight card, he's now fighting Raposo, and I look at it and I see these odds, and they're enormous, guys. The odds are 200, minus 265, and I just don't know where you're coming from. Like, I see Raposo. Mitch is a good fighter. I saw him in his last fight. He did not want to go to the ground. He was smart. He avoided takedowns. He fights with a high IQ. You know, sometimes they'll be against the cage in a clinch. He'll disengage to make sure we're striking. Now, his striking is nothing fancy. It's not great. It's just a 1-2. It's just, a jab cross. Jab cross. He throws a 2-punch combo, and he hopes it lands, and he throws it right to your nose. He looks accurate with his strikes. Mitch, I'm talking about Mitch here. But not too dynamic. On the flip side, Andre Lima, extremely dynamic. He's out there doing a bunch of stuff, but he's trying to get a 1-punch knockout, a 1-kick knockout, whatever it is. And if you don't have that ability, then what do we go to next? He's very crafty on the ground. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. But I'm looking at Mitch, and I'm like, this guy can get off the ground. Keep it away. Yes, he got tapped out and submitted. I'd imagine in his camp they're working really hard to make sure he's defending against Kimuras and Omoplatas, because when you watch Andre Lima, he threatens that stuff from his back. He's dangerous. But I think Mitch just keeps it standing, tries to win this fight in striking, and I don't necessarily think Mitch is a better striker. I just think at plus 200, that's a hell of a value. That's a little bit disrespectful. Yes, it's short notice. That's why it's plus 200. They're assuming Mitch won't be in shape, and Mitch is a little more husky, if you will, a little more muscular, so that tends not to make it through the rounds. But I just watched him fight a 4-round fight, so it looks like he has the build that can't go that hard. I'm going to tell you right now, Andre Lima gets gassed. In that fight against Cervinho, yes, it was a crazy pace, but he was gassed at the end of the first round. He was so gassed, he stopped throwing punches, and he was throwing elbows, like lead elbows. He was doing this, a lead elbow, and one of them smashed, somebody's face. But for me, I just don't know how you go to minus 265. Maybe you believe in it, but if you bet minus 265 on Andre Lima, that means you're willing to parlay him with other things, and I'm not willing to go there. So unless you're going to make it a lean and pick the favorite, that's fine, but you'd have to parlay it with something to make it worth your while. I'm not going there. I think it is worth betting on Mitch Raposo at plus 200. It's worth it. You can avoid it. Listen, there's better spots to make your money. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I think the best spot to make your money is on the main card. I'm telling you that right now. I never do that. I always tell you, avoid the main card, avoid some of those marquee fights, go towards the prelims, look for some locks around there, look for some heavy favorites, try to parlay them up, try to find a guy with some knockout value, things like that. But for me, on this particular card, and I'll be doing it for the MVPs, I'll be explaining to them the whole card, the main card looks poised to make some money. On the flip side, the prelim, we're going to go out there and we're going to take a stab in the dark here and there, and I'm going with Mitch. I know, frowned upon. He might go out there and get smoked, and I'll look like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do. I understand that Andre Lima's a more dynamic striker. I got it. I was not impressed with Andre Lima's last performance. I understand he's undefeated. I'm going to fade him right now and say Mitch Raposo, short notice, makes a name for himself, and kind of takes the hype away from Andre Lima. I think Lima should have lost his last fight. If he doesn't get bit, he loses that fight. He cheats. Andre Lima, I've watched him cheat. I've watched him grab fences so he doesn't get taken down. I've watched him pull guard, low fight IQ. All those things that he does in the cage, it's like he's almost like panicking while he's fighting. And then on the flip side, when I see Mitch Raposo fight, I see a guy with genuine fight IQ. I like the way he fights. He listens to his coaches. He listens to his corner. He knows when he should get a takedown, when he shouldn't. I watched him use a wizard to get back up to his feet. He just fundamentally does everything I want from a fighter. Give me Mitch, short notice, be tough, go out there and get it done. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. If you want the rest of the picks, become an MVP. I got you. We're making money. Peace.